Thank you, Anders. Food, shelter, and smartphones. Many of today's humanitarian challenges are increasingly complex. We have a lot of information about what is happening, but a lot of more information is needed about the what, the who, and whys. And migrants need this information. They, of course, are not exempt from this. Migrants today need information as much as food, as water, as doctors. This need of information is causing much debate in the humanitarian sector. There is a suggestion that information can keep people safe, can save life. So if the need of the people we are trying to help are changing so much, what are we, humanitarian organizations, doing about it? I want you to use your imagination for a moment. If you had your partner comes home and tells you, we need to leave in 3 hours, otherwise our life is at risk. Our kids will be kidnapped. What would you do? What would you pack with you? Well, chances are your mobile phone would be the first thing you take. And change of context. When you travel for work, for business, for holiday, how do you communicate home that you arrived safely at destination? Well, you send a message, or you take a selfie on the beach. Well, this is what migrants do. The migration crisis in Europe over the last 2 years is the first of its kind. Not so much because it's the digital era. We've been in the digital era for a while now. It's because it's the first time where connection is ubiquitous, it's persistent, and it's accessible. I want to give some numbers to show this. In 2016, an estimated 3.4 billion people are connected worldwide. That's 46% of the world population. In Syria, you can buy perfectly functioning smartphone for as little as £100. And there is indication that in Aleppo, one of the hotspots of the Syrian conflict, you can find perfectly functioning 3G iPhones for as little as £25. In 2014, 87% of the population in Syria belonged a phone, and trends are showing that this percentage is increasing. So this means technology is accessible and is at most people's reach. Migrants today are experts and connected, and they use technology in their everyday life and their past life, while in transit and at destination. They use technology to talk to their friends, to their family, to talk to people that might be ahead of them in the journey, to understand what is happening with the border. How do you ask for international protection in Germany, like in Macedonia, in Greece? I want to tell you a short story. 2 weeks ago, I was traveling to Greece, and I was in a camp just north of Thessaloniki, where most of the refugees are in Greece currently. And I was talking with one of the refugees the Red Cross works with, and he was telling me about the need in camps to organize activities for teenagers because they are bored, they don't know what is happening, and they're growing violent. So he was showing me pictures on his mobile phone because he's thinking of building a football pitch and organize football tournaments. And while he's scrolling pictures, the picture of a little girl comes up, and I say, oh, Saleh, that's his name. Who is this little girl? And he said, oh, she's my niece, she's 5 months old. And then he shows me a video of the little girl crying. And he comments, you know, big lungs, like her husband will have trouble. So here's the thing, Saleh never met this little girl. He has been stuck in Greece for almost 7 months now, and he doesn't know whether, when or if he will ever go back to Syria. But he's looking forward to the first time he will meet Salima, his niece, through Skype. And this is what technology means. that we are somewhere, but we can be connected to our family, and we can be connected to the future in the life we run towards. But technology is not only providing information and being in touch with the family. Technology is also social media, as we all know. And social media means we have a real opportunity to engage with the people we are trying to reach. We, as a humanitarian organization, we need to learn that social media is a tool we cannot wait to engage with. We need to use it to talk with people, engage in two-way conversations that will help us, yes, provide information, but also listen and understand what people really need from us. If we don't start listening now, we will lose their trust. We will not be able to provide helpful solutions, and we will not be able to be relevant in the future. Just before I skip to the next slide, I think these are very interesting numbers. In 2015, 9 in 10 Syrians living in Jordan received humanitarian assistance, but only 3 in 10 found this assistance helpful. That means it's time to listen, and that is a lot of food for thoughts for us. So what then? Well, as I said, it's clear that we cannot wait to engage with technology anymore. And we need to stop thinking of technology as this innovative tool. Technology is here and needs to become a default way by which we provide humanitarian assistance. We need to provide Wi-Fi connection, power station, laptops, as much as we provide medicine, vaccines, or clean water. To do so, we must be ready to open our minds and change the way we think about solutions and we work. We need to be ready to partner with new actors, startups, big corporations working in technology, UX designers. We need to learn to be ready and think outside of the box, such a cliché phrase for something I'm saying, but we need to be ready to change and willing to embrace a change. This is something that the Red Cross is trying to do. We're working on an information platform that will allow migrants to find information that could be relevant, that are relevant in their context, but also allow them to get in touch with the Red Cross on a one-on-one basis. And we are doing so with IBM. This is a partnership that probably 5 years ago we wouldn't have had. It's time to change the people we're talking to. Sometimes we have been too self-referential. Let's open up, let's find new solutions. So is that it? Is that what we need to do? Build a platform, provide information, be on social media? Well, it's not so easy. The picture is much more complicated. I like this word, technology, no technology, because we need to remember that at the end of the day, we're human, and migrants need the human interaction when talking with us. There was a research conducted in Amman with Syrian refugees and others nationality too, that said 97% of the people preferred face-to-face interaction. More than 65%, though, had access to technology. So that means we cannot replace human touch with technology. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to stay human. But first of all, we need to be ready and keep on engaging with technology. We need to offer technology as a lifeline for migrants. It's not just providing healthcare, it's not just providing food parcels, it's much more than that. We need to be ready to listen. Listening is the only way forward to ensure that what we do, the help we provide is relevant and it's helpful and it's actually changing and helping people's life. We need to be inclusive and involve people affected by crisis in designing solutions because they know their issues much better than we do. And so who is better placed to help us design the assistance? And finally, as I was mentioning, we need to keep people on the ground. There are things that cannot be communicated through Facebook. I have spoken to women like me that said, I'm too scared to go to the bathroom at night. Or mothers that say, I don't allow my kid outside of the tent after dark because there are holes in the camp. And if they fall in, they might break something. This is something very difficult to communicate online because you need to talk about these problems with people working in your context, witnessing the same context you are in every day. So let's say times are changing, humanitarian organizations need to change, but let's not forget there is no humanitarianism without the word human. Thank you.